Hey everybody, come on in. It's the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. We gather here every day at 7 p.m. and we talk about this fight we're in. We talk about this political revolution that's happening in this country right now, the one that the media is trying to silence, because we understand that we have to be the media. We have to get out there and we have to spread the truth. And that's what I'm doing here. That's what the idea is here, anyway. So hopefully, I'm getting the truth out there. Hopefully, I'm helping the people to see that we can do this, that we can win. And this is how we win. This is how change takes place. So come on in. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what we talk about here. I'm going to get my phone really quick so I can see your comments on Facebook because I can't get Facebook to load on the computer. So I'm going to go grab my phone. I will be right back. All right. So we're going to get started. Thanks for coming. And if you shared, thank you so much. That helps more than you know. It's important that we get this message out. We're the only ones that are going to spread this message and that are going to spread the truth. So if we don't share it, it won't get shared. And I'll just be sitting here talking to myself throughout this whole fight, which would be really sad, actually. That's a sad thought. But what we do here, why I made this show and the purpose of this show is to give us a place to gather and talk about what's going on. What's happening in the fight. Be real, but also keep in mind that we're winning, that this is how change takes place, and we are doing the right thing. What we're doing is going to move us forward and is going to help us to make real change happen. And we're doing the right thing. There's a lot of independent media out there, but there's not a lot of independent voices telling you that yes, you're doing the right thing. You are doing what makes change happen. This is historically how change occurs. No one's telling you that, and the media is convincing you that it's not even taking place. So it's very difficult fight out there mentally. And that's why I wanted to make this show, so that we could have a place to gather and inspire each other, and in times of weakness, talk each other, back up. Because there will be times when we get knocked down and times when things get hard, and we're going to have to get back up. We're going to have to keep going, keep moving, keep pushing forward, and own it. Hey, Dolores. Hey, Dion. Good to see some people here on Facebook and YouTube, actually, too. So comment, take part in the show, and let me know what you want to talk about. What's going on in the fight? What's going on with you in the fight? What struggles are you running into? You know, it doesn't just have to be me talking. That's what this is, the war room. So this is where we can all gather. I was watching Bernie's town hall today. Did you watch Bernie today? He had a town hall in Iowa today, and it was fantastic. Very large turnout, and Bernie did a great job, had a great speech, and is coming out more on the attack now. There is a attack side of Bernie that I am not accustomed to seeing, you know, and it's coming out now. He went at Biden a couple times, Warren, never really saying their name, but in a way that is uncharacteristic of Bernie in the past. So that was inspiring. That was something neat to see. And, there's a lot of good there. He looks very healthy, and he is doing a good job of addressing the health concerns and using it to spin it into Medicare for all, into pushing Medicare for all and talking about Medicare for all. He's very good at doing that. Very good at getting the conversation back where he wants it, you know. Bernie is doing a fantastic job. He really is a great candidate. And we just need to do all that we can. And if we do all that we can and we own this fight, we will win. And that's what we talk over 1 million individual people have donated real money, $18 average, reached into their pocket and donated over 1 million. That's historic. These are unheard of stats. Over 3 million volunteers. This stuff's never been done. The media's not focusing on it because they don't ever want the people to realize their true potential and their true power. They don't ever want us to realize our strength, and they'll do everything they can to fight against it. But we will ignore them. We'll be louder than them. I was trying to find a better way to say that, but we will just drown them out. We'll silence their lies and expose them and do what we have to do because we have to do it. This is our time. The time is now. There's not going to be a better time come along or a better opportunity come along. We don't have time to wait for a better opportunity. So even if you're not fully on board with this, even if you're still mad, you're still upset about what happened in 2016, I get asked all the time, aren't you mad? Aren't you mad about what happened? Doesn't it bother you what happened in 2016? Yes, to my core it does. Of course. But am I going to let that keep me from wanting progress and fighting for progress and taking advantage of an opportunity, a great opportunity to achieve that progress and that change? No. No. And the grievances I have and the questions I even still have, they can be put aside for now because we need to do all we can right now. We're being given a fantastic opportunity to do that. So I think it's in our best interest to take full advantage of that. This is very winnable. This is doable. It seems massive, and it is, but it's also doable. This is all achievable, and it's all easily even paid for and explained. As long as you inform yourself on the policies and how they get paid for, it's all laid out and it's available for you to learn about on Bernie's site, and there's other great ways to learn about it. We can get into all that later, but inform yourself really well about the policies and about how they get paid for. Then you can explain them because it all makes sense. It's all attainable. It's not pipe dreams. It's not pie in the sky. This is all very doable and it's going to happen. And all that really needs to happen is for us to stay vigilant, us to stay active, us to stay involved. And if enough of us do that, and it only takes like 3% of the population, so roughly what, 11 million people? I'm bad at math. Don't trust my math. Do your own math, but not very many. Not everybody. We don't need everybody. We just need enough to make real change. And if we don't do that, we'll never have any real change. So no matter how you feel politically, if you would like to see real change happen, be a part of it. It's happening right now, you know? Join us. Join us. Be part of what we're doing. Help us. We just need enough people. We're going to attain that number. I fully believe we're going to win this fight. I'm not an optimist. It's tough for me to do a motivational show. I hope this is motivational, but it's tough for me to do it because I'm not a motivational guy. I just believe in this to my core because this is the way change happens. And it's happening. So I have to do what I can in this fight. And I believe that we have the potential to win. You know, if I had the money to bet, I don't, so don't ask me to bet. But if I did, I would bet on it. I definitely would. And I'd feel good about it. I'd feel like I was going to win. You know, and it's not because I'm a dreamer, not that I'm not. And there's nothing wrong with being a dreamer, but it's because I'm being realistic, you know. This is happening. And opportunities like this don't just happen all the time. We got to take full advantage of it. We got to own it and understand that if we don't, it won't happen. But if we do, it absolutely can and will happen. So let's make it happen. Let's do it. You know, that's it. That's all we got to do is decide that we're going to do it, put in the work, and get it done. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to live in our fears. We're going to live our dreams. We're going to make this country into what we want it to be, a society that works for the people, not greedy corporate fat cats and big money interest and endless war, but for the people, for the betterment of society, for progress. We want to support something that is sustainable, something with an actual future. What we're doing right now is a crash course, is a collision. It is built to fail. And they don't care. They will cash out. They're playing a game with us at the casino. They'll cash out. They'll protect their interests. They'll be just fine. But we won't. Things could quickly get a lot worse for us pretty fast. But Mike says, sorry, Bernie, you joined the cabal in 16 and I'm no longer a fan. I hope you're part of the investigation when the IG report comes out. That's really sad, Mike. It bums me out to see that. Well, why are you mad at Bernie, for one? And why did you expect Bernie to save you, for two? Bernie is just a political candidate. This hero complex that people get for Bernie, like he was supposed to sacrifice his career, sacrifice any chance at a second opportunity, like what we're being given right now, sacrifice all of that in order to appease a few people, because it would have ruined his career. If Bernie had done what everybody wanted him to do, what all the people that are angry and still upset with him for not doing, it would have ruined his career. The media would have made him Crazy Bernie by noon. They would have attacked him throughout all publications and across all channels, nonstop. Sold him as a sore loser, a lunatic, a crazy person, Crazy Bernie. If you're really realistic with yourself, you know that it wouldn't have worked. If he'd have done what we wanted him to do, what I wanted him to do even, and storm out of that convention and take us all with him and go, I'm running third party. The hell with all of this. I'm running third party. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. And if you think it would, I don't think you're being realistic. I don't think you're taking into account what we're up against, what Bernie's up against. And you need to do that. That's important. Because if you don't do that, you're failing to take the whole situation into account. Bernie is a politician. Bernie has to play by different rules than we do. We're activists. We get to do whatever we want. Bernie has to appeal to the masses, not just the woke, not just the independents and the progressives. He has to appeal to everyone. He's a politician. He's running a political campaign. He's doing a fantastic job. I don't believe in Bernie per se. I believe in this movement. The movement, the people. I believe in us. Bernie is our representative, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. But we have to do this. We have to own it. And I include a link in the description of every Daily Bern to BernieSanders.com. Please go there. See if there's any way that you can help out by volunteering or donating or anything you can do. But while you're there, get you one of these. The bumper sticker, the official bumper sticker of the campaign. These are really nice. These are the really nice bumper stickers. They're the vinyl kind, and they're not the paper kind. They come off, and they're a great way to draw attention and excitement to the campaign. So get you one of those and put it on your car, and you'd be amazed how many conversations and how much that bumper sticker, how many opportunities that thing creates. It's amazing. But Elizabeth says Dr. Joe Firestein explains the policies. We have his videos on PIN. All right, cool. Check that out. Yeah, Penn is a really good asset for me. I know that. They're a group that helps me out a lot, and I get a lot of good stuff from them. So check that out for sure. Um, just remember that this is about belief. We need to believe this. We need to believe it in our core. So that's what this is for. Motivation. We have to keep our mind right. That's all. We just got to stay focused and keep our mind right. Because if the mind is willing, the flesh can go on without many things. You can keep going if you believe and you really have committed mentally to something. You can push through difficult times and hard times. But it's important that you believe. You have to decide. We have to decide we want this. Decide that it's now. We want this, and we aren't taking no for an answer. No is not acceptable. We're not looking to negotiate. This is all or nothing. This is a touchdown bomb. We're going for the win. Taking it all. We're going to change the system. It has to be changed. It will consume us if we don't. They will never reach their fill. They will never decide that they've had enough. They'll destroy us, and they'll destroy everything. They have to be put in check. They have to be brought into reality. The people that are destroying us, the people that are corrupting and destroying the economy and destroying the planet, they could fit in this room. We can't allow this small amount of people to destroy everything. Because we keep letting them do it, you're going to wake up one day and you won't even recognize the world you're living in. You're going to live in a dystopian nightmare, in a literal version of 1984 or a book like that. Those kind of books that are supposed to be fantasy and fantastical. They're coming to life, and we're allowing that. We don't have to. Our reality is what we tolerate. We can make changes to our reality by deciding that we no longer tolerate certain things. Elizabeth says we can believe, but what we should be working on is the election system. All right, that's down the road, though. That's a more of a time constraint, a time involved process to do. And isn't that easier if you get a nuclear strike? We're in a war. This is a long-term battle. We do it from the ground up. Like Babe was running for alderman and doing stuff like that, running for school board, local offices. You got to do that. Bernie being president is just a nuclear strike to the establishment and allows other change. It inspires people. And it's just the current fight that we're in. We're also in other fights. There's Stephen Cox, who's a Bernie crap running for Congress or Senate in Kentucky against Mitch McConnell, not getting any attention. We should be pushing him. I want to do stuff like that. I want to have people like Stephen on and give them a chance to talk to people and get their platform out and let people know what they represent and that they're available as a choice. So we have to do a lot of things. And yes, the election system needs to be completely overhauled. Really, we should be on something like what Germany has, a paper ballot system. If you've never heard of the paper ballot system, look into that. I've done a little research on it, but I'm no expert. It's just a much more reliable and safe and accountable system. What we use now, these Diebold voting machines and stuff, they're easily riggable. They're easily hackable. There are high school students that do it in like 5-10 minutes. There's been multiple Senate and Congress hearings about them. They're not reliable. And that's just one major flaw in our election system. Our election system needs to be completely revamped. The whole thing does. The whole system really needs to be torn down and rebuilt. Almost. It's just like we're buying like the shell of a classic car, and we're going to have to restore the whole thing. But in the end, it's going to be really nice, right? Or we just give up, throw up our hands and be like, there's nothing we can do. And just let happen what happens. Let the rich and powerful keep running wild. It's the only other alternative. I mean, unless we're going to take to the streets. And I don't know. If I had any faith that the average American would take to the streets, maybe that's where I'd be fighting. I'm fighting here because this, I think, can work. I think this could happen. I'm real sure this could happen. I'm real sure this is going to happen. If we all do what we can, if we all do all we can, it can happen. There's no reason why it shouldn't. It's very possible. It's all within the realm of possibility. I don't feel like there's anything about it that is impossible. Elizabeth says, I'm not going to line up at the polls again with those Diebold machines. That is the definition of insanity, doing it again and again with the same results. Okay, I mean, but stay home, and what does that accomplish? What does that do? If you stay home and you don't participate, you are participating. You see what I'm saying? You're participating by not participating. There's no choice in this fight. They carry on the fight whether you fight it or not. They will continue their game whether you play it or not. So if you go home, the game still goes on and the game still affects your life. And yes, the voting machines are rigged, but the whole damn thing is we overwhelm it with our numbers. I don't know why that's hard for people to understand. They're going to rig it all the way up to the end. I must not be making myself clear. They're going to do everything they possibly can. Everything. Things we haven't even seen yet. Things they didn't do yet in 2016. They're going to have things, aces up their sleeve we haven't come across yet. They're going to do everything they can to hold on to their power. Oh my God, you're talking about billions, trillions of dollars. There's much invested in protecting what they hold and the power that they have. Much. So they're going to fight all they can. This may turn violent. We want to get super real. If peaceful revolution is made inevitable, impossible violent revolution will become inevitable. I butchered the shit out of that, but that's a Kennedy quote. It's not my quote. It's something that we've been warned about for decades. That this system is built to constrict the people so much that at a certain point they will fight back. But I wonder sometimes how far they're going to be able to push us. And whether there'll be anything to fight for by the time we've reached the point where we'll fight. And this rigged game controls us. So a lot of people have told me, well, it's foolish to participate because it's rigged, or sometimes some even say that it makes you responsible because you participate in the rigged system. You have to take it over by overwhelming it with our numbers. I really believe that takes it down. As long as we don't back down, if you're honest about it, those of you that are upset about 2016, enough wasn't done. We have to do all that we can. All that we can. Enough of us. Not everybody, but enough of us have to own this and have to be willing to do all that we can. And if we do that, I fully believe we can win. There is an if in that sentence. It depends on us, and it depends on our commitment to this. And if we allow another election to be rigged in this country, I'll never vote again. I'll never participate in politics again. I'll still have a revolutionary attitude. I'll still want massive change, but I will want a different way to go about it. I won't participate anymore at all. There'd be no reason to. I would agree with you then. But we better be talking about doing something. We better be talking about fighting, making some kind of change, doing something. Or we can all get a commune and buy a bunch of land and live and become our own nation. Got to have some kind of plan in place. We're running out of time. Thanks for watching, guys. This is a Daily Bern. We got a real sidetrack today, but this is a daily little inspirational show for the political revolution. It's supposed to be, anyway. And hopefully you're finding motivation from these. I don't want them to get repetitive, but like Bernie said, when you're fighting for something that's important, until you get it, when we get it, we'll talk about something else. When we get healthcare as a human right, we'll talk about something else. Living wage, talk about something else. You know what I mean? When we get Bernie elected and we start making this change, maybe I'll throw in sports scores, or we'll do a segment on pets, things like that. But until then, we're going to be talking about fighting, because that's what we're doing right now. But thanks for watching the Daily Bern. Oh, all the YouTube comments just showed up. Sorry, Kathy and Kilo 19. I just saw your comments, but Kathy says we have to vote in huge numbers. We can do this. Yes, we can. I fully believe that we can. I'm not just saying that. I really believe it. I fully believe it. And I believe that Bernie believes it. I don't think he's lying to us. I don't think he's selling us any kind of a pipe dream or impossible story. I think he's doing what has always worked throughout history, and it's taken him 40-something years to do it. He's been putting this together for a long time, This didn't just start. It's not new to Bernie. This is the things that Bernie's fighting for right now. He's been fighting for decades. He's just gotten himself into a position where he can actually accomplish these things with us. He can't do any of it on his own. Kilo says St. Bernard 2020, protector of the people. Kathy says Bernie or bust. It is a Bernie or bust situation. For those of you that don't know that, it is completely Bernie or bust. This is the last-ditch effort politically for a lot of us. This is it. You ever going to fight? Fight right now. Do all you can right now. Because we're in a fight. It's just not one you've ever been taught about or shown how to do. You don't get taught how to participate in democracy. They don't teach you in school about activism, about finding the truth. We're in the information age. Every one of us has a computer in our pocket. Kids aren't taught in school how to inform themselves, how to think. They're indoctrinated and trained to be good workers, loyal citizens. The system is made to keep us weak. Bernie is trying to empower the people, and he's doing a fantastic job of it. That's what I believe in. That's what I'm fighting for. That's what's going to win. Rigged voting machines aside, that's what's going to win. Rigged media aside, we will win. All this money being used against us aside, we will be victorious. We don't have to raise billions of dollars, but they're going to spend billions of dollars to fight us. They're going to do absolutely everything they can. We will have to rip this from their cold, dead hands, as a figure of speech. They're going to fight to their last breath to make sure we don't win. They're not trying to stop Bernie Sanders. They're trying to stop us. We are who they're trying to stop. They want to put a stop to us. We're realizing our power. We're rising up. We're doing what needs to happen. They want to put a stop to it. Kathy says, I will fight for someone I don't know. That's right. I will too. I understand that. I understand that statement. Let's say I don't have health insurance, but let's say I did have great health insurance and I had a union job and great benefits. I still feel for my fellow man. I'm an empath though. So I feel that pain. And I couldn't ignore it or look away. I would have to be like, look, healthcare is a human right. And this stuff that they're using to scare people with good insurance is that you won't be able to pick your doctor and you have fantastic benefits. You really want to see that go away? Well, do you honestly have fantastic benefits if you really think about it? Even if you have great insurance, you're paying like $20, $30 every time you go to the doctor. You're paying prescription copays, all kinds of things. And God forbid that you get seriously ill or have a serious medical condition. God forbid. Because sky's the limit on how bad things can get for you financially then. So it happens to your job. But what she's talking about is you fight for somebody else. Maybe you don't even know that person, but it's an issue or a cause that's important to them. Maybe you make $30 an hour, but you know that a living person, an American citizen, should be able to live with dignity. And if they're working 40 hours a week, they should be paid a living wage. They should be paid something that they can live and survive on and provide for themselves and live with dignity. That's what we're fighting for. That's what that means. That's what I believe that means. I'm inflecting my own opinion on it, but that's what I think she's saying. Kathy says you're a slave to your employer. Yeah, if your health insurance wasn't tied to your job, would you still have the same job? A lot of people, they wouldn't. A lot of people are working at their job because they're a slave to the benefits. They can't give them up. And the money, of course, but the benefits. That's going to be the harder. Did it freeze? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The audio usually stays good when it freezes, so I apologize. But we're going to wrap up soon. I got a ranch show coming up at 8. So I got to do Yankee Ranch tonight. Tonight's a two show night, so come back at 8 for Yankee Rants, and we'll hang out and talk then. But the audio usually stays good when it freezes, and you can usually stick with it. The video is what freezes, and that will stop when we get the new computer. We will work through that, and we'll also have cooler backgrounds, and things will look better. So it's going to get better. Things are getting better around here and around these shows. And if you want to help support them, there's links in the description for how to do that. But I consider this one volunteering. So this one is for the revolution. But Yankee Rants tonight, come by and check that out and share it out too. Kilo says more to life than work. Exactly. We are made into slaves. I've said this before on the conspiracy theory show, but slavery was never abolished. It was reimagined to include us all. You know? Kilo says probably not. Oh, I don't know what you're referring to. But let's see. I'm gonna check Facebook for comments really quick because I've still got to prep for that show tonight. But we're coming up on 200 episodes of the Daily Bern. We're in the 160s now, so we're like a month away from 200 episodes. Can you believe that? I've sat here and done this 200 almost 200 times. It's crazy, right? If you knew me better, you would know that how crazy that is because I am not an optimistic motivational person. But doing this show has really changed me a lot and made me more into one. I'm trying to be one, trying to think more positive because your mind is very powerful and belief is very powerful. And we can change things. Kathy says Callie's on fire again. 3 separate fires. Man. A lot of them fires are suspicious. But that's more for conspiracy theories and chill Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for participating in the Daily Bern. And we'll be back in about 23 minutes for Yankee Rants. See you guys then, and see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of the Daily Bern at 7 p.m. Check out Bernie. He's in Iowa right now. There's going to be a rally tomorrow night and another town hall tomorrow. So that's what's going on with Bernie. If you want to stay informed in the Bernie campaign, text the word Bernie to 67760 and that will enroll you in the official campaign texting service, and you'll get text alerts and stay informed with what's going on. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow on the Daily Bern.